Hello everyone and welcome back to another 2 Cent Gaming Review. I am your host, the MasterDJ, and today's review places Assassin's Creed Origins under the spotlight. This game was developed by the one, the only Ubisoft, specifically Ubisoft Montreal. This game was released on October 27, 2017 for Microsoft Windows, Xbox One, PS4, and Stadia. The genre of this game is action role-playing. Alright, with the beginning monologue out of the way, let's get into details. I personally love this game. So just a warning, if you can't tell by the timestamp, this video will be jam-packed with information on this game. Let's begin with the release. Ever since Assassin's Creed 2, every Assassin's Creed game came out annually with the exception of Unity and Rogue, which both came out in 2014. The time between release of Syndicate and Origins was 2 years this time. With that extra year came a completely revamped combat system and enemy AI combat systems. It was also one of the first Assassin's Creed games since the series release that didn't have the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and instead had you playing as a Magi by the name of Bayek. I won't give away any of the story because this game you definitely have to play to enjoy the full game. Now, Assassin's Creed Origins places players in the middle of Egypt as you explore the massive open world. When I played this game, it hit a soft spot for me because I absolutely love Egyptian mythology and history. Being able to explore Egypt while great cities like Alexandria, Thebes, and Letopolis at around 300 BC was an absolutely incredible experience. Origins also had a vast amount of Easter eggs, such as an entire mission that was Final Fantasy 15 inspired, with rewards that looked futuristic compared to the usual weapons that you can find throughout the game. And as a small bonus fact, while Origins had this mission available, on the other side in Final Fantasy 15, there was a week-long festival in-game that was Assassin's Creed Origins inspired. Another Easter egg, which was one of my favorites, was a Tardis at the bottom of one of the lakes in the game. If you are not familiar with what a Tardis is, it is the ship used by the Doctor in the series Doctor Who, and the name Tardis stands for time and relative dimensions in space. There were so many more, however, if I were to go over all my favorite details in Origins, this would be a very
3 hours later.
very long video. So regrettably, we must continue. That being said, one more little interesting difference that separated Origins from the rest of the Assassin's Creed franchise is that it strayed away from the being strictly historical. While the rest of the franchise has included the Pieces of Eden, which aren't technically historical, the rest of the game contained mostly historical events and people, where Origins did have those aspects, but it also had aspects that weren't necessarily real, such as, spoiler alert, having the afterlife be a playable area as part of one of the DLCs. Anyways, enough of me nerding out over this game. We still have a review to finish after all. For those of you who are watching and are achievement hunters, this game is a treat, and I'll tell you why in one sec. The game has a grand total of 67 achievements, including one that, get ready for this, requires you to travel to every single location in the game and complete every optional objective in those locations. If you don't believe me, the achievement's name is Old Habits. Now, I've heard mixed feelings on this achievement. Personally, I really enjoyed it because it required you to explore almost everything the game has to offer. That's one of the reasons I personally love completionist achievements. This game does have a walkthrough on 2 achievements written by Iron Invoker 47, who clocked the game from 80 to 100 hours. I personally took 100 hours and 22 minutes to complete, which translates to 4 days, 4 hours, and 22 minutes. I personally did not use a walkthrough, so the fact that I came super close to par is impressive to me. The game only requires 1 playthrough. However, if you want to play this game without a walkthrough, which I would highly recommend, it does have 1 missable achievement, but the achievement is to sell 100 trinkets at the same time, so I don't really know why the achievement is flagged as missable. Anyways, there were no unobtainable or online achievements either. Now, I give this game a solid 10 out of 10. I may be biased, but this game broke new ground for future Assassin's Creed games like Odyssey and Valhalla, which will be covered later in this playlist. Now, the achievement score I will lower to a 9 out of 10 just because of the Old Habits achievements. While I love completionist achievements, looking back to it when I actually was going through it was difficult sometimes for some of the locations, and also to be fair to people who do not like those kinds of achievements. With all this being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed my review, and if you did, you have a hunger for more. I have a whole playlist of reviews that I've made just for you, and you can click the box when the beat drops to be taken to the full playlist. Again, I hope you enjoyed the review, have a great day, and don't forget to stay awesome. Peace.